So I'm sure a lot of you guys are already well aware, but I got to participate in the Season 4 preview event with a lot of other content creators and some of the developers. So I'm just going to kind of break down everything new. So first, we're going to go through all of the store skins. We have a Dome Shield Turtle. We got some nice Night Op stuff. We have these kind of construction-ish looking ones for the model. The new shotgun, the M26 Matter. We also have the SA-12. And I feel like a lot of the skins honestly feel pretty nice. There's like really interesting themes going on. We do have facial hair. So you can see in this bundle, we finally have facial hair, including the mustache here. We also have like beards. We got some Orf skins. So as you can see here, there's a Riot Shield, the KS-23, and the throwing knives. We have like a paintball ASUS set here. I think this is actually really nice. I was rocking this a lot. I just feel like it's really clean. Just feels really like thematically, I think it works really well. Tons of ASUS skins overall. We're gonna cover the Battlepass later, but yeah, these animations for the Deagles are sick. Honestly, the Deagle's one of my favorite weapons. I haven't been playing heavy too much last season, but honestly, after this preview event, I've been talking about it. Like, I think I'm gonna be playing a lot more heavy. This one's pretty like simple, really clean, just like kind of black and gold skulls with like the gold accents. I feel like the Kimbo ones kind of remind me of Jackie Wells from Cyberpunk. I definitely want to be rocking stuff like this. But yeah, nice, simple but clean, elegant skins for a lot of different weapons here. This is the new pike as well. We're going to be also testing out basically everything. So yeah, I'm going to be just going through all of the different changes and stuff that I experienced throughout the firing range and other things that I had discovered. I'm going to kind of go over a lot of these changes. I'm going to give you guys my full opinion in a future video, but for now, I just kind of want to address everything that's new, keep it simple, get you guys this information as quickly as I can. So we have this V9S skin. It's one of the like silent Eclipse ones. Absolutely insane. Yeah, the Eclipse shade or whatever, really nice skin line for that V9S is amazing. We have some Isolt skins. If you guys don't know, there are some sponsors that you can pick skins for. I will be covering that a little bit later, but the Isolt skins here look really, really nice. We haven't had too many blue things for skins, and these ones just are perfect. We got some silverware throwing knives, of course. I think you guys already saw this in the teaser. A couple people had revealed that. Now let's cover the battle pass. So you see a lot of these like kind of yellow paint splatter ones kind of going with that paintball theme. There's a couple of skins like that. We got the SA-12. We do have the AK as well. Tons of multi-bucks, a lot of standard stuff. I'm going to mainly kind of discuss some of the skins because I think they're a little bit more important. Unfortunately, we weren't able to test the entire battle pass. As you can see there, we had to like buy levels and they didn't give us enough multi-bucks to finish them all. So unfortunately, we couldn't do that. We have the Rapier skin for sword. Really, really nice. I'm a big fan of like rapiers in a lot of other games, so I feel like thematically, I'm into it. I feel like the lunge also kind of works with it. I could see a lot of people getting into that set for sure. Now this hammer skin actually has these like smoldering effects, as you can see there. It's like ember kind of like, you know, going off of it. I think that subtle effect is really nice. But yeah, we have a couple like firefighter themed stuff here, like the helmet, the sticker, and then we have some baseball skins. I think if you are into the sword, I feel like a lot of these cosmetics can definitely help your roleplay out a lot, because we do have the baseball bat from earlier in our seasons for the sword. Now we have the full outfit. Some animations for the V9S are really, really nice. And you'll see here at the end this pike skin. Oh my god, the DMR skins are amazing. So this is another one of these like silent Eclipse like kind of blackout skins, but this one is clean. Like that looks really good. And there's another one near the end that also looks really good. It's like a bit more rugged, but the pike got a lot of love in the battle pass here. The mediums are going to be eaten good for sure. They got a lot of buffs and stuff. Deagle skin's really nice. There's also some nerfs to it, but yeah, there's a lot of just fun stuff to play around with on all the classes. Like I said, I really like the idea of playing heavy this season. There's a lot of cool changes. But the medium definitely has a lot more fun options. I feel like there's more play styles that you can play with that aren't necessarily just the heal beam. But yeah, I wasn't too big of a fan of these ones. I think they're pretty simple, but maybe not for me. But yeah, this watch, really nice. There's actually another recolor of this coming up later of that. Some more Osboos. Like I said, there are so many Osboos skins in this Battle Pass and in the store and everything. There's also like some free ones that we seem to get. I don't know if they're going to be for everybody in Season 4. Osboos kind of looks like piss, not going to lie. But yeah, look at this Osboos LH1. That stock, incredible. There's like a chrome rail. There's like carbon fiber all over it. Like, oh, if you guys are into LH1 and Osboos, this is it, bro. Yeah, and like a full-on medic kind of like tree of stuff, like band-aids, the gun charm, the full skin looking like a medic. I was pretty into this one. Yeah, definitely thematically there. And then the mullet, as you can see here, bro, absolutely based. Now we have a mullet. I can't wait to rock a mullet with a mustache and a wife beater. Just like, oh, it's gonna be so good. And then we got a little bit of like Rocky themed stuff, I suppose. Some explosions, the like dirty M60. By the way, the M60 is playing quite well. Like I said, we're going to be going over that a little bit later. And then the black bandana. Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of like rusty skins, so this one was like really nice to me. And then this is the one you guys saw from the trailer, the mask. I think a lot of people are asking about this. Makes sense that it's near the end. And then you guys can see here the pike again. Like I said, a little bit more of like a rugged kind of skin, but again, super clean. So if you guys are looking forward to that DMR, you're going to be happy. Honestly, the DMR plays really, really well. I think most people who are like maining medium have been in love with the pike. It is impressive. Like, it's so much fun to play with. It feels pretty strong. I don't even think it's necessarily like overpowered, because I think it puts up a pretty good competition versus stuff like the model right now. But yeah, and then like this, like the golden watch looks so good. And then yeah, the golden like firefighter helmet. And then we got the extra levels here. So you guys all know these like LED ones for the new shotgun on light. Got some nice boots. This top I think is pretty nice. I think like this is one of the ones where it's like you definitely want to put something with it, which I think is why they have this mask here. That would obviously go really well with the level 104 hoodie there. And as you can see on the main page, we have sponsors. So this is where you can kind of pick your sponsors. So there's Holtau, Isolt, and Engimo. And you can click on any of them and you'll see which rewards you get before you select, so you know what you're working towards. There's the legendary sniper in the top here. There's like that mask, the pants, like a tree card. There's a couple things there that are pretty nice. Though this one, Old Asian Man, obviously we're picking this one, Isolt. The blue FAMAS, super nice. I'm a big fan of the Isolt skins. And then we have the Holtau. Actually pretty clean. They do have the hammer. But yeah, we're definitely going to go Isolt all the way. I think these skins are really nice. I really want some more blue skins, to be completely honest. And then this is what it looks like. So once you select it, you can kind of go through and see how much XP you need and how many fans you need. But basically fans and XP are kind of the same thing. But yeah, it's called fans, and you get those basically by playing the game and succeeding. We also have like top players, so that's like a leaderboards thing. But I do want to show you guys some of the progression here. So they actually added some more levels. So as you can see, we go up from 60, and you can see some of the new skins, this kind of like white and red themed items. Now these ones I think are really nice, especially like the final jacket ending on 69. Okay, I see you, Embark. Nice. Definitely gonna end it on 69. Yeah, really nice jacket there. Super clean. And then a lot of you guys were asking about like if there are new specializations or new gadgets. As you can see there are no new gadgets and no new specializations. There's just the new weapons here. There are a few changes which we will go over in a bit for some of the gadgets and some of the weapons and some of the specializations. But yeah, I just want to quickly show you guys that there is basically nothing really new here besides the weapons. And there's also no new level 9 skin. I don't know if that's going to come out when the season actually fully launches and they're just waiting for the reveal. But as of right now, it just shows level 8. And then we can see here on medium, again, same thing. We got all the same gadgets, same weapons, same specializations. One thing we do have is new sights. You can see at the top here we have sights. So if it already has a sight on it, you can buy the iron sight for 400. If it's something that doesn't already have a sight, then you can buy a sight for 800. I think Lewis gun might be one of the only ones that you might expect to have a sight, not get a sight. But maybe that's just because of the way the gun is designed. But things like the bow, the dualies, you kind of would expect them to not get a sight, and that is correct, they didn't get a sight. The 9.3R is another one that also didn't get a sight. But let's start covering some of the loadout customization. So as you can see here, there is a new animation when you go to create. There's also 8, so you can see 3 out of 8 loadouts now, which is really nice. There's also a new player card with some extra features to add on there. But yeah, the new animations feel really cool. Feels a lot more immersive. I just feel like a lot more game showy, I guess, is like the best way to word it. All these animations and like all the little features just feel really good. It just feels so much more fleshed out. Sorry, I absolutely love this season. It's honestly like the best season that I've played so far. Now let's kind of cover over some of the sights. So as you can see here, there are a few new sights in the game. So there is red dot for the M11. This thing absolutely fries. This actually might be one of the new best meta picks. I absolutely love the red dot on the M11. Unfortunately, the V9S red dot was actually bugged during the playtest. You guys can see that in some future footage. I'll probably be putting out another video with my thoughts with some of the gameplay. Tons of gameplay to show off. But yeah, it in theory seemed really good, but unfortunately was a little bit bugged. As you can see, there's no sight for the 9.3R. The LH1 also got like an ACOG. This was actually bugged when I used it. Similar to the other one, basically like once you start shooting it at full fire rate, the bullets actually go below where your sight is, which makes it really hard to aim. There was no iron sight for the sniper, unfortunately. The SH also didn't have a sight. Obviously no sights for throwing knives, sword, dagger. But yeah, we'll cover some of the medium ones. We do have a red dot for the AK. This seemed to be pretty cool. I didn't get to test it too much, but I saw so much gameplay of people using this one, and it seems really, really nice. The FAMAS gets an ACOG. This, again, was bugged. So the burst weapons actually were pretty bugged. Basically, the animations in the burst was not really, like, in sync, which was a little bit frustrating. It made it really, really hard to control after you burst a couple times, but I'm assuming that will probably be fixed on live. In theory, it feels really good, but it just didn't really perform too well. The red dot for the revolver. This actually felt really, really nice. I can see this going hard for people who are into the revolver. The visual clarity is just so good. There's still a lot of kick, but yeah, really, really nice, huge W. No sight for the CL40. The pike has an iron sight option. Again, like I said, this costs 400 instead of the 800 for the regular scopes. I actually think the iron sight options are way better than you guys might assume. Basically, it reduces a lot of visual recoil, so the accuracy with this thing feels a lot better with iron sights. I'm more than likely going to be rocking the iron sights on like the XP and the pike, for example. Even the FCAR's iron sight, really, really nice. Definitely recommend trying those out when you guys get your hands on the playtest. Yet no sight for the model. And when it comes to the melee weapons, there obviously wasn't anything. There's no sight, there's no alternative to it. Melees are pretty much the same in terms of that. There are some changes that I will cover a bit later, at least ones that I've noticed. All right, so the heavy class, obviously there's going to be no sights. Eagle, and then obviously the flamethrower doesn't. Again, it's kind of going to be a pattern you see, stuff like the MGL, KS, these things that don't really ADS, or the ADS is not really that strong, then yeah, you're not going to see it. The Lewis is one where I'm a little bit confused. I feel like they could probably do some sort of sight with this, but it doesn't. Maybe just because of the way that the weapon is designed, it didn't really make sense for them to add it. Not too sure, but yeah. And then we have the M60 getting a red dot. This is actually a massive change. I think the M60 is going to be seen a lot more. This is a very, very good change. Absolutely love this from Embark. Then we also have the KS and the SA12. Obviously not really getting any sights, as you can see. So next, I want to cover the leaderboards here. As you can see, there's a leaderboard for World Tour. There's a sponsorship World Tour. There's these leagues here. As you can see, we have the Ruby Lewis. We have the Diamond XP, the Platinum M60, a gold AK, which I was kind of surprised they gave a AK a gold skin, but yeah. It is what it is. And then when it comes to the leaderboards, like I said, there is terminal attack, power shift, quick cache, and bank it. So there's leaderboards for everything, including the filters for different sponsors. There's also going to be different circuits here. So we have the Engimo, the Holtau, and the Isolt circuit. The first one is going to be Engimo. As you can see here, there is an Engimo XP54 as the circuit reward. Same as it was before with the different series, but these ones are based on the sponsors of the season. So now we get into some interesting stats, everything you can kind of see here. As you can see how many shots it takes to kill with the Deagle, 4 on light, 2 to the head. So this actually has a 2x headshot multiplier. Another big change is the RPG now does 100 damage. This is a huge change I think a lot of people have been asking for. This is really, really nice. I think that they're still very, very strong in the meta, so I wouldn't really be too stressed about that. Charge Flame hasn't really been changed. A lot of other things haven't been changed, like Goo Gun, stuff like that. Yeah, the Dome Shield lasts the same amount of time, so that didn't really get tweaked at all. Yeah, we'll test this. So yeah, same 130 damage. Charge and Slam is the same as it was before. The Explosive Mine, as you can see, you only get 1 now. So you can place 1 and then it has a faster charge. The barricades are the exact same. You can't like place them in walls or anything like that. They're the same size. The frag grenades do the same amount of damage as they did before. But yeah, the mines, you only get 1. Once you place it, it takes a while to reset. The Lewis gun, as you can see, the recoil is a lot easier to control now. Very reminiscent of the Season 1, Season 2 kind of Lewis, so I'm pretty happy with the state of this. As you can see, much easier to control. I haven't controlled this thing in a long time. The fact that I was able to be that accurate, I was like, wow, this thing is finally going to be usable again. The damage is the same, but yeah, being able to spray transfer, kill multiple people in one spray without this thing kicking everywhere is a huge plus. So we can look at the M60. Again, the M60 is really, really nice. With this red dot and this recoil, as you can see, feels a lot easier to control. There's not as much visual recoil. As you can see, it feels like a lot more, I don't know, it just feels a lot better than it was before. As you can see, the cooldown is a lot quicker, even though you get 1 charge. This way you don't just spam 2 of them, but if you do want to use 2 of them, you still can. I think overall, this is sort of like a neutral change. It's just about like spamming 2 in the same spot is not going to be as easy to do anymore, which I think is a really good change. The Pyro Mines, you still get 2. So if you're heavy, it's definitely going to be worth bringing these. These are going to be really, really strong. They do the same amount of damage and they still have that burn effect. So if you're already using them, then they're pretty much the same as they were before. The gas, the goo, the pyro, all these are the same. As you can see, you only get 1 charge. Cooldown seems to be the same. The goo blobs are the same, 6 wide. Seems to be the same cooldown. The flash, as you can see here, the effect, I don't know if this lasts longer or not. I couldn't really tell. I'm pretty sure they're the same though. I couldn't really notice any difference there. I'm not the best at testing the cooldowns. I was trying to quickly do this, so I didn't really want to waste too much time. This, same as it was before, still does 100 damage. I believe the drop off is also the same. The proximity mine is the same, and the anti-grav is going to be the same as well. Cooldown is also the same. I'm not going to let you guys watch the whole thing. Anyways, so the SA12, this felt pretty much the same as it was before. So for anybody who knows like the comp scene, basically this is the only thing that is ran. I think this is probably still going to be on top because it didn't really get changed at all. I know a lot of people, maybe in lower elo or people who don't play in the comp scene as much, might not think that the SA12 is good, but yeah, just so you guys know, the SA12 is basically run by every single heavy in the comp scene. And we have the flamethrower and the pyro. So pyro seems to be the same. The flamethrower damage feels the same. It's kind of hard to test this weapon a lot, but yeah, I didn't really notice anything different about this. Kind of felt the exact same as it was before. The MGL, again, felt the same. But for some reason, I felt like the detection of when they blew up felt a little bit different. But I don't know if I might have just been getting some lucky hits, or if they have some other mechanic in play. Like you could see here, it goes right through them. But that one, it was like it kind of bounced off of the thing and then hit him. I'm not too sure. Either way, these feel like slightly better, but also the same. I don't play with them enough to really know, so I wasn't too sure. Spear, again, I don't really notice any difference. The right click is still very, very bad. Don't recommend using the right click. The sledgehammer, from what I tested, is the same. All the combos feel like the same timing. It's the same damage. There isn't really too much different about this. I think a lot of people are expecting a sledgehammer nerf. I'm kind of indifferent about it. I think the winch might be more the issue than the sledgehammer, because I don't think many people had any issue with sledgehammer until winch was introduced, and then all of a sudden everyone was using it. The goo gun still has the same bloom, seems to be the same amount of goo per reload. Now I want you guys to take note of the mesh here. So as you can see, it was actually on cooldown after I pulled up the mesh and then put it down. So there's basically a cooldown to kind of spamming it, so you don't just constantly bring it up and put it down and bring it up, put it down. And it's also 500 HP, as you can see there, instead of the 750. So this is a pretty big nerf. I'm going to put this as a little disclaimer. This is a temporary preview event. A lot of these might not go through, and this is one that I have heard might not make it to live. So don't take this as live patch, but yeah. And you can see here, there is a bit of a bug with the DMR sometimes. This actually kind of fixes itself after a while, but I was just kind of testing some of the damage on the Pike 556. This weapon honestly feels really, really nice. It's honestly like really satisfying to use. The in-air accuracy is really good. Fire rate feels like it's a really nice tempo that you can kind of feel very controlled with. Yeah, there is obviously a visual bug here. Like I said, this does kind of fix itself out after a while. The iron sights on it honestly felt a little bit better than using the, sniper-ish scope on it. I don't want to call it a sniper scope because there's actually a glint to it. And yeah, the revolver is basically the same as it was before. I think you guys will notice that there isn't too many nerfs to weapons, but there is a lot of buffs. So things do feel a lot stronger. The defib feels the exact same timing-wise. The zip, the jump pad, these standards, I don't think these really got tweaked much at all. I really don't think there might... I mean, maybe if there's a cooldown, I'm not too sure. We do have the F-car. As you can see here, the pattern is very similar to what it was before, but you can see the way that I'm holding it feels a little different. I'm not too sure if this was intended or if this is like similar to the whole iron sight bug where it's trying to look through like the iron sights or something, but they're not there. So I'm holding it in a weird way. Not too sure, but yeah, the F-car felt pretty similar. The AK, as you can see now, has 32 bullets instead of the 36 that we're used to. Everything else about this weapon felt pretty much the same. And the FAMAS also kind of felt very, very similar. But the FAMAS, like I said, was a little bit bugged. The burst weapons were not really working the best in this patch. But felt the same. But you can see the tempo of like when the bullets come out and when you're spraying it doesn't seem to line up properly. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. Like I said, this is like a test, so there's going to be a lot of bugs and issues. The CO40 actually got a buff. So as you can see here, 3 shots to kill a heavy. Pretty significant buff. And this is more around like direct impacts. This isn't like when I was using it in play, like if you were good and you landed those shots, it felt really, really nice. I'm sure a lot of you guys want to know if the model 1887 is different. It does the exact same damage, has the same amount of bullets, same reload. Everything about the weapon seems to be the same. I couldn't find anything that's different. If it got a range nerf, I didn't really notice it. I didn't really play test it too much outside of the testing range, but I did see a lot of other people using it, and it felt like I was facing the exact same weapon from the previous season. But I think with all the other buffs that are happening to a lot of the other weapons, I don't think we're going to have too many issues with the model. I think the model is going to kind of even out. I'm kind of glad they went this route, honestly. I've been wanting to see more buffs than nerfs. If they want to nerf stuff in the future, by all means, we can see how the meta forms once the season comes out. But for now, it feels pretty dang good to just see a bunch of buffs. The Riot Shield, I didn't really notice anything different. If you guys are Riot Shield experts and you notice everything being the same or different, feel free to comment this below. I didn't really see anything different here, but like I said, I don't really play with this too much. Speaking of things I don't use a lot, the dual blades. I mean, a lot of people have been memeing on this weapon for a long time, and it's honestly still not the best. As you can see, I was able to hit that second guy. It felt like a little bit further than I'm used to seeing, but like, Again, if you guys are experts with this weapon, maybe you guys notice something different. I didn't seem to notice any different values in attack speed, damage, or anything. The dematerializer got a massive buff. Look at this. Do you see how many things you can affect? You can affect up to like 5, I think. 5 or 4 different like fractals or whatever you want to call it. I think it's 4, but like some areas it might be more. But yeah, the radius of how much you can hit is really, really nice. The only downside is that when you're trying to close them, it seems like you only close 1 or 2 at a time, and it's hard to close the entire thing all at once. That might be something that they might want to look into in the future. So for people like Sanguine, he wasn't really too happy with it. Turret feels like the same as before. I don't think they really did much about it. And then when it comes to the heal beam, I think that the heal beam got nerfed. It doesn't feel like the biggest nerf, but it's either like the healing amount or the healing speed or whatever. But you can see here, I was just about able to give him his full HP bar before I ended up overheating, which I feel like before I would have been able to fully heal. I'm not too sure, but it definitely feels like there was a nerf. I just don't exactly know if it's the amount or the rate or what it is. If you guys are healing beam experts, maybe you guys can let me know, but it does seem like it's a little bit weaker. Now to cover other stuff. So the APS, as far as I could tell, works the same. Even when testing, feels the same. The gas mines, again, you get 2 of them. They seem to act the same as they were before. But as you see on the bottom right here, the glitch trap, you only get 1 of them now instead of the 2, which I think is a very, very good change. This has been quite some time where the glitch trap have basically just been denying anybody from doing anything. So I'm pretty happy that we only get 1 of them. I think this is a good change. As you can see here, the data reshaper, we get 3 charges. We get 3 charges, and the range seems to be increased as well. I'm not too sure if this is like vanilla range and radius, but it seems like it's bigger. But yeah, 3 charges, insane. We went from 1 to 2 to 3. Who knows what we're gonna go to from here. Now let's cover the M26 Matter. This thing is a beast. I absolutely loved using this in the playtest, and I can see this being like potentially a meta pick. Yeah, the dash seems to be the same as well. Another thing I wanted to test. The stun range. In some moments, I feel like it might have been buffed, but I don't know. Like, I don't use the stun too much. I kind of prefer not using it. But yeah, the M26 Matter, it feels really strong. When you guys see how many shots it takes to kill, you guys are going to be like, what is this? Just watch. 2 shots to kill a medium with this pump shotgun on light. I can 100% see this being a problem. People are more than likely going to be complaining about this. Has pretty decent range, as you can see there. Really not that bad. And then watch this. 3 shots to kill a heavy. I mean, you do have to be pretty close in order to pull these off. If you are too far and you miss a couple pellets, then it's going to take an extra shot. But this does kind of feel like the double barrel might be just outclassed. I mean, in my playtest, I had a lot of fun with this. It just felt like using the double barrel where it was like a little bit weaker, but since you had much more of a forgiving experience, it just seemed better to just run the new shotgun. And as you can see, the range and everything about the gateway is very similar. But one thing that I want to note here that I didn't actually fully test was you can't actually throw stuff through it. The cash box doesn't go through it. You can't throw glitches, grenades, anything like that. You have to like bring it through for it to work. I think it's kind of crazy, but I mean, the gateway was used on basically every loadout, so them nerfing it or tweaking it, I mean, I'm not against it. I was just kind of confused on that being the approach, but I think they're just trying to bring out some more versatility in the meta. So somebody had said that the LH1 shoots just as fast as it did early in the season, like 1 and 2. I don't really see it. I feel like the fire rate is the same as it is live, but it's really hard to test because this is like, you know, 10 to 20 RPM difference. And it's just like kind of a live testing, like getting on, trying it out, not like going back and forth testing. So noticing certain things like that are really, really difficult. All of these gadgets that I'm bringing out, The sonar plays the same. The smoke is the same. You still get 3 charges. The thermal is the same. So nothing really different in this regard. There might be a few bugs that are fixed with the thermal, but it's really hard to kind of like test them because a lot of them are inconsistent. We'd have to like kind of really set up a lot of these scenarios. But overall, I think these are basically the same as they were before. And then as you can see here, the XP, again, we got that visual bug. I think, like I said, it's just something to do with the iron sights versus the sights. So look at this, tracking dart, 4 charges. 4! You could track 4 players with that thing. And breach charge now has 3 charges. I don't even know, it's crazy. The recoil on the XP feels the exact same. The visual recoil feels a little bit better with the iron sights, but we will kind of cover that in a future video. So that's going to have like tons of like the gameplay clips along with some of thoughts, but I just want to pump out a lot of the new stuff for now. And as you can see here, being able to throw 3 of these, it kind of covers a pretty big radius. I can see the light breach charge now being the go-to for like C4 and playing drop instead of the heavy having to bring C4. The thermal bore seems to be the same as it was before, but the breach charge getting 3, they're definitely trying to just, you know what? Screw it. We're going to give you guys 4 charges of tracking dart, 3 breaches. Just start using different things on light. So I'm excited to test some of these out with some new loadouts. So like I had mentioned before, the 93R was a little bit bugged with the visual recoil. But as you can see, with the test here, the damage is the exact same. And I'm not too sure. I feel like they might have upped the RPM or the burst delay, but the animations aren't really synced with the gun and when the bullets come out. And so it's really hard to use this weapon and fully test it. We're just going to have to see on live how it plays. But yeah, you can kind of see here, it just feels a little janky. Now I'm a little bit sad, but the bow didn't seem to get any changes. I was really hoping for like a headshot multiplier buff or something. Okay, so there was one thing that I'm not 100% sure on, and you're gonna get to see. But the base damage for like when you don't fully charge the shot, I think might have got a little bit of a buff. But it was really like hard to tell like what the number was versus what the number is live. And like sometimes when you click, you might hold it for that extra little second and then get the extra damage. So I'm not 100% sure. I think when this comes to live, I definitely want to see if this is any different. Obviously, we're going to get to see some patch notes once the game comes out and see if they did make any changes. But any little help for the bow to make it a little bit stronger with the base damage or the headshot would be really nice for me. As it stands, I think it's basically the same as it was before. Now, the V9S, I feel like there's less visual recoil, but I don't really use it too much. There still seems to be a good amount, but I just felt like I was able to control my shots a little bit better than what I usually would be able to. And then there is a red dot on it. Like I mentioned before, again, bugged. But the V9S, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm going crazy because like it feels like there's less recoil, but then like watching it, I'm like, was there? I think this might not be too big of a change if they did, but I'm pretty sure it just plays the same damage, everything else. The SH, again, same damage. There's really nothing too much, but watch the reload. This reload is definitely quicker than what it is on live. That feels a lot quicker, so that's good to see. The M11 is basically the same as before, still has really good hip fire. The recoil pattern feels the same. The visual recoil, pretty much the same, but there is that red dot now, and like the red dot on the M11 just cooks. Like I genuinely think the M11 with red dot could be a meta pick. They might finally contest the XP54. The sniper still has that wobble. As you can see here, as you're jumping around, it kind of has this weird little like wobble to it. So that is a little bit unfortunate that that is still in the game, but hopefully with time that can kind of get solved. They've been making a lot of really good changes with most of the weapons. So I think in the future we might get there. As you've seen, like tons of the visual recoil, like the sights, a lot of these things have been kind of tweaking it to make the game feel a little bit more polished. So we're definitely taking steps in the right direction. This might just be more complicated than I might think. So the dagger. big change is you can hold your right click, which is crazy. You can see here, like I was letting it go. I was like, oh, wait a second. Like when you press it, it doesn't just go through the whole animation. You can fully hold it. And if you guys are curious, yes, you can still do backstabs with it. And it's still the same amount of damage. And you can still do the dash, twist around, backstabs. This thing felt so much more fluid to use. I was actually really enjoying it. Like I might actually try to like learn this dagger and all these tech, because yeah, it still works. And the sword, so I'm not really much of a sword player, so if you guys are sword players, feel free to see if there's anything that has changed here. But from my eyes, it looks like it's the same 140, 74 damage, same timing on everything. You can do all the same dash tech, it seems. Like I don't really know how to do like the phantom striking. I did try to do it, but it didn't seem like it was working for me. But I'm not the best at it. I think someone more experienced might be able to pull those off. Now the throwing knives, they are able to be held with a right click again, just like the dagger. This is another massive change that I think is so good. Now you can be a little bit more skilled with a weapon. I was using this a little bit, and honestly, it's really fun to use now with this being able to hold. Kind of reminds me of using the bow, where you like kind of like charge it up, then you can like dash in with it. Really good change. I think this is going to increase the skill cap on it. I'd always said that like lowering the RPM and then increasing the skill gap by being able to hold right click, it's a really good change. So I'm really glad that they did that. Now when it comes to the grappling hook, I think the reach is further. I have a clip here when I was playing Sniper with the grappling hook. I'm not 100% sure if it is further or if it's faster, but like it does feel better. I think it got a buff, but I don't really play enough with this, you know, with the grapple to really know. So you guys will have to let me know if that looks further. I do have some more footage with it in a future video, so you'll see there. And then when it comes to the cloaking device, I'm pretty sure it went unchanged. I didn't really notice any noticeable differences with it. So that was all the loadout changes. Now I want to talk about this, the in-world crosshair. So if you have this off, your crosshair is now truly static. This is honestly one of the best changes I saw that kind of was a little bit confusing to me at first. I was like, what is this in-world crosshair? I've never heard of this, because people were asking about any crosshair changes, and then lo and behold, I see this. Rob was even in my chat telling me about this. And you'll see here, I can jump around, wiggle around, and that is perfectly centered in my screen. This has been a long time coming. I'm so glad we finally got this. So thank you, Embark, for this. And then I'm going to just show you guys the new map. We're going to end it there. Honestly, I'm super excited for Season 4. I'm going to give you guys my review along with some gameplay in another video. But I'm just going to let the video just play out with me touring the entire map here. I hope you guys are as excited as I am for the future of this game. Genuinely, the game show is so back. This has been an absolute blast. I just want to take a short moment to thank Embark for making such an incredible game. This season, genuinely so far, has been my favorite. All the additions feel so good. A lot of the balancing changes seem really good. There is tons of nice buffs that came in, some nerfs. Everything about this season, honestly, is a huge W. Super excited. Overall, from what I had heard from other content creators, is that this is a huge win. This has been a fantastic experience. I cannot express how much I'm in love with this game. Anyways, I'm gonna let you guys watch the rest of this, and I will see you in the finals. Oh, actually, before we go, we got one more bonus clip. This is my favorite moment from the playtest. Enjoy.
We don't need to. Holy shit, dude.
Special delivery. Sending a frag.
Everybody's all the way still on the other side of the map.
The last 30 seconds of the match.
No room for hesitation now. Our teams must act fast.
Yeah.
10 seconds left.
Teleport here.
There was no retro rocket opposing the retro.